Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial on the D&Ds. This is going to continue on with the spellcasting rules review thingamabob that I'm kind of doing here to help just kind of understand how spells work. I should be putting these in order on the website, but if you are unsure where this is in the whole kerbobble, you should have already watched spell slots, spell components, spell attack and save DC, and concentration. This is all going to start coming together at the very end here. We only have a few more topics to cover. In this particular one, we're going to be talking about prepared spells. This is very important, mainly because usually when you're starting off as a player, you come with a certain number of spells in your repertoire. But one of the things that you need to understand is there are only so many spells that you can have memorized per day. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have access to other spells. They all work differently according to class. But every single spell class, or spellcaster, however you want to put it, can only memorize certain spells a day. Generally, this is based off of your spellcasting modifier and your level. So let's take a look at this. If I go over my managed spells over here, you will see that I have a number of spells listed. Now, cantrips, which are the spells that you can cast over and over and over, do not count against your prepared spells. Generally, the number of cantrips you know are denoted by your class level. So if you go into the player's handbook, there's generally a big chart right at the starting of the character class, and they will say, hey, you get this many cantrips, so on and so forth. And generally, you can only swap these out when you level up. So that's something to consider, but that's another topic. So the number of spells that Grum Grum can prepare per day are 7. So that's from my wisdom of 2 and my level of 5. So you can see here that I have 7 spells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 prepared. So as I'm out doing my adventurer thing, these are the spells that I have available. Now, this is different from the known spells. Clerics are pretty cool because they actually have access to their full spell list. So one of the things that Grum Grum can do, let's say he is adventuring out with a party, things are not going so well, and he says, you know what, it's probably a good idea that I prepare Revivify. Right now I have a spell called Speak with Dead, which allows me to speak with the deceased, but I don't want my party to be deceased. I want them to be alive. So what you can do during a long rest, not a short rest, a long one, you can unprepare certain spells and then add new spells to your known spells list. So I'm going to click on Unprepare here, and I'm going to go back to known spells. You can filter by level. I'll go to 3rd here, and I will prepare Revivify. Revivify, blah, blah, blah. Gotta talk right. So now if I go back to my prepared spells, it is here. And if I go to my 3rd level slot over here, you will see that this is now prepared in my brain, so I can cast it later. And you can see that we actually have the specific effect here. Undefined once. So I only have one use, possibly. That's new. I'm not exactly sure what. I think this means that one person gets one healing or back to life sort of a thing. I'm not 100% familiar with all of the icons in D&D Beyond, but that's the basic gist of it. So essentially, you can prepare all these different spells. And again, clerics are really cool because they get access to all of their known spells, because I think the idea behind it is that their deity is basically channeling power. They are a conduit for power, essentially. So they have access to all these really cool spells. I believe it is the same for Druid. However, for other classes, this is going to be a little bit different. Wizards actually have to go out and study. They need to find spell scrolls and add them to their library. So this may not be exactly the same as you see on mine. Sorcerers, on the other hand, they learn spells intuitively. So as you level up, you can add known spells to your list, or the spells that you can cast, because they function a little bit differently. And the Warlock also borrows power. They are only given very specific spells, and those are the ones that they know and can cast. You can replace them again as you level up, but you're going to have to go and check and see how your class specifically functions. If you're not 100% sure, I would like to clear this. Get out of the way. Get out of here. There we go. You're going to have to double check and see how your class functions. And if you're not entirely sure, definitely talk to your DM, because you may find that the class that you're playing may not be suited to your playstyle. But again, you can always ask us advice for how to play your character class effectively. So I just really wanted to mention the managed spells really quickly. I believe that's going to cover it here. In the next video, I am going to just take a look at a spell. We're going to kind of bring everything that we've learned together, and we're going to take a look at Fireball. And we're just going to kind of use everything we've learned as kind of a quick summary video. So I will see you there. Consider joining up for our games at dnd.thedae.com. Link is in the description below. We got a bunch of cool stuff up there that you may be interested in and can help you out with your D&D game, or maybe get you interested to hang out with us and have a fun time. All right, I will see you later.